the law of attraction means to me is definitely, it's all about mindset. It's, they say, thoughts become things. So where focus goes, energy flows. And that's a quote by Tony Robbins, and it's so true. At the time, for example, I wasn't looking for anything when I met my husband. And when I started thinking, a bit differently and actually attracting the right person, it's kind of like the universe just said, well, here you go. So it's definitely, the ask, believe, receive. And the belief part, I think, is the most important, because without the belief, it doesn't really work. And I think that's where most people get, mistake that.
A lot of people ask, but I think they skip the belief part and then they expect to receive. And I think the belief part is the part that's most important.
The most important, yet the most challenging. Because when you don't always,
for sure.
When you ask, we're always asking for things, but when it doesn't happen, we're like, yep, it doesn't work. But it's about, I guess, sending out the right vibrations and the positive vibrations, and just believing in that's definitely going to be me. For example, we've been saying our same goals every night before bed for a year, and we haven't ticked off all of them, but that's, we still have the same belief that we did a year ago. That hasn't changed, and I think that's very rare to have.
Just keeping that focus every night has been like, even though you don't notice it consciously, subconsciously, like it starts to all fall in place. And then like some of the goals that we were saying throughout the year just started to fall into place, like November, December, like it's been really,
it's been amazing.
Where you hit where you're aiming for, pretty much. So.
And when you don't hit what you're aiming for, it's still important to focus on that. And you've also got to make room in your life for what you want to attract to yourself.
That's true.
Like, for example, if it's a new car and you've got your old car in the driveway, maybe get rid of your old car so you can attract your new one. And that's a story that Steve Harvey always goes on about, but it's very true. But until you do it right and do it properly, and hey, we're not perfect, we're far from it, but if you're sending out the right vibrations, the universe it's unlimited. The world is literally in your oyster. And as my husband likes to say, if you see it in your mind,
if you see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand.
And Bob Proctor says that, so yeah. But
I always used to say when I was trying to get her attention at the beginning, and she kept rejecting me and like acting like she wanted nothing to do with me. I always used to like picture like this image in my mind that I was with her, and over, if I could see it on my mind, I knew that I would one day hold it in my hand. And when we got married, it was a really emotional day, just because I finally realised that what I was holding in my mind over and over and over again was finally in my hand. And that was really a real eye-opener that how true the law of attraction is, and how it can turn your whole life around.
that's right. And when you listen to the world's most successful people, millionaires, billionaires, they all say the same thing about the law of attraction. And if they have the results that you want, they say that success leaves clues. So they're obviously doing something right. So there's no such thing as they've just been given that life. It's like, well, anyone can actually do what they do, because we've all got those choices. It's about attracting the right choice. But yeah, that was very deep. But in long story short, that's what it means to us. And personally, having that belief in God as well is very similar in many ways about how the law of attraction, the ask, believe, receive, because it's actually in the Bible. But if you're not, a believer in that kind of stuff, the law of attraction is, it's awesome. When we watched The Secret, that really changed, our life and our perspective on. So that's how it works. And it's so true. Like when you have a bad day, a bad morning, you're driving to work, there's traffic, that annoys you, and then you spill your coffee on you, and then everything just goes wrong from there. And if you think about it, you're actually attracting that to yourself. It's amazing what you can change in your life, in all aspects of your health, in your mental health, in your physical health, financial, finances, everything, what you can actually attract to yourself. Unfortunately, most people don't really know about it, or they're not doing it properly. But yeah, I guess that's it. I don't know if someone's had anything else, but I think that's pretty much covers everything. Absolutely. And also, another thing that we do is you create a vision board. So we have a really big vision board, and I think that's like looking at your goals and where you want to be as a constant reminder. That's very important too, and making it very personal to yourself. And one day, believing in that can be you if you follow through. If you don't follow through, it's not going to happen.
I think part of the belief factor is more than just seeing it in your mind as something that you believe is going to happen. I think it's more it's a lot to do with feeling it as well. Feeling it in your emotions, and just like you feel it in a different way when you really believe it.
That's right. And once you receive what you've been asking for, it's knowing how to deal with that. That success in your life, and being patient with the process. Because people want it now and they don't want to wait for it. But it's not just a matter of ask, believe, receive. It's a matter of constantly developing yourself. And, whether that's reading personal development books or attending seminars and events, which we often do that. It's constantly working on you and improving yourself every day, because the happy only get happier. And it's the same with the law of attraction. Like once you attract one good thing, it just keeps coming. So hopefully that gives you a bit of a perspective on what we think about it. But try it out. Watch The Secret. Read the books about it. It's absolutely awesome. But you've got nothing to lose and everything to gain from it. So